Next, we want to help our new disciples understand a framework biblically that sets the stage for where we're going to go. And the scripture we're going to use is a story out of John 4 about the Samaritan woman. The woman at the well. And I'm going to summarize that story for you. Jesus was traveling with his disciples, and they were traveling through Samaria, and they stopped in a town, a village, where there was a well. And he was sitting by the well. He was thirsty, and there was a woman from town that came out, and he asked this woman for a drink. And they began having a conversation. And if you remember this story from Scripture, I won't do all the details, but they were talking about water and where you're going to get water. You don't have anything to draw it with. And then he said, well, if you were to ask me for a drink, I would give you living water. And she was like, tell me about this living water. And he said, well, go get your husband and we'll talk more about this. And she said, well, I don't have a husband. And you remember this story? That's right. You've had 5 husbands. The man you're with now is not your husband. And she knew, okay, something is unique about this person. And after they finished this conversation, immediately this woman went back to the village where she was from. And she told her friends and family, she went back to her people, and she said, come see a man who just told me everything I've ever done. Could this be the Messiah? I think this is Jesus. And after she went to her village, all these people came out to meet Jesus and see for themselves. And he continued to share with these people. And so there's a framework we see in this story from Scripture that, first of all, oftentimes we are wondering, well, who, if I'm Christ's ambassador, who am I called to reach? And we see from this story, the Samaritan woman went back to her relational network, right? So Jesus wasn't the evangelist in this story. The woman at the well was the evangelist. And then we see that she shared something with her friends and family. Do you remember what she shared right away? Story. She shared her story, right? Her testimony. And then, it's really short and sweet, but she shared another thing. She kind of testified, right? Could this be the Messiah? So she shared God's story. And when did this woman go and tell her friends? Did she wait a few days or a few months? When did she go?
Immediately.
She went immediately. All right. So this simple story in Scripture is a framework we're going to use to have these gospel conversations, answering who, what to say, and when we're going to do. So I'd like you now to go ahead and train your partner, your training buddy. Grab a blank sheet or on the one you've been training and go ahead and take them to John 4. You can summarize that story. You can read it out. This isn't about having to memorize or anything. You can read parts of the story if you need to, but just answer these questions out of the story and help